Today, I will be ranking cartoon characters' physiques on a tier list, with S being a perfect bodybuilder physique who can show up and win the Mr. Olympia, and F being they have the physique of a bag of topsoil. The criteria I will be ranking on today, because we don't live in an anarchy, we need some rules and some guidelines in place, will be symmetry, overall muscle, and definition. So we can really get down to the question on your mind of what cartoon characters have the best physiques. First off, I thought we should start it off hot with a banger, and the one that gave me the idea for this video being Johnny Bravo. Now, I haven't seen the show, so I can't speak on his character per se, but I can speak on the absolute monstrous build that he has. I would guess, based on looking at him here, that he has 22-inch arms. The biggest issue I have here is regarding his symmetry, with specifically his legs. His legs are like Kaido from One Piece. Can we get much higher? He has that absolute monstrous upper body and then the lower body of like a Lego minifigure. And I mean, it's no fault to him. He was just genetically. And also, he needs a different barber, because that 2014 toilet brush looking haircut he has going on is not doing him any favors. The legs plus this overall lack of definition he has will land him at a solid A. Next off, we have the Sailor Man Popeye. The thing that makes Popeye stand out the most here are those absolute python hog crankers that he has. I mean, I can't speak on what he does in his private time, but you know, I think I could make a pretty good guess. So aside from those forearms, which he's known for, the rest of his physique is hot garbage. He's got no upper arms, no chest, no shoulders, no legs. I mean, you could say he doesn't even work out at all, and he just, you know. However, working in Popeye's favor here is that absolute inhuman strength he possesses. And I know we're going based on physique and I'm already breaking the rules, but like, you can't ignore what this man does. His feats of strength are inhuman. I mean, he must have some kind of like compound V or something in his system. So that strength added onto those forearms will land him at a solid C. I don't really know how Courage the Cowardly Dog made it onto this list. I'm a little baby boy. I'm only 18, so I've never seen this wacky show. I do know this mutt right here has a garbage physique. I mean, look at that little pot belly and his noodle arms. I mean, he's never lifted a fucking weight in his life. So I'll put him at our first F tier. Peter Griffin. We're on a bit of a cold streak right now. I swear to God, people, stay with me. We have some impressive physiques coming around. If you had a gun to my head and you told me that I needed to say one positive thing about Peter's physique, I'd tell you, I mean, he's symmetrical in how fat he is, except for that like yoga ball of a belly he has. Muscle-wise, I would like to present this piece of evidence to the court, and that is when Peter lost all this weight because he was stuck in a hole, because Quagmire Joe in Cleveland dug a hole and stuck him in the hole, I think was the episode. And as you could see, he has all that loose skin and absolutely zero muscle to show for it. So under all that fat is an absolute twink build. We're gonna put him in the D tier because he's not a literal dog like Courage is. Here we go, Larry the Lobster. We're back, baby. Larry has this Giga Chad, handsome, cool guy energy that I would date. I mean, let my sister date. Energy that, I mean, is really attractive. I mean, it's whatever. I don't really. Larry is a unit. However, there's a couple issues with his physique that I'm just not able to look past. And that's his itty bitty little baby tiny legs like Johnny Bravo, and his toothpick upper arms and shoulders that he also has. I mean, this guy literally just has forearms, chest, abs, and then the rest of him is tiny. There are pictures of Larry absolutely geeking out and hitting the most diabolical crab pose I've ever seen. Like he just ate a fucking rumble ball. That's not his typical look, so I'm gonna have to give Larry a solid B here. He isn't impressive like Johnny Bravo, but he does have a decently solid physique. Next off, we have the literal Hulk. The Hulk is so big. His name is an adjective that you use if you want to compliment someone that's been looking like they hit the gym a lot. Like if someone calls me the Hulk, I'd probably just pull down the Hulk has this year-round sub 5% body fat and could literally hop on stage at any point and win a bodybuilding show just because he's so lean, not even regarding the fact that he weighs 1,000 pounds and is 7 to 8 feet tall. For reference, Ronnie Coleman was 6 feet tall and around 300 pounds. So the Hulk is essentially 4 Ronnie Coleman's worth of muscle. If it wasn't obvious already, I'm gonna give the Hulk here a solid S tier. So already we have every tier filled out. Look at that. Foghorn Leghorn. I would guess that less than 5% of you know who that is. I mean, put your guesses in the comments down below if you know who Foghorn Leghorn is. I mean, look, I'm a 2010s YouTuber who's looking to boost their engagement. It's not like I'm about to tell you the answer in the next 5 seconds. If you said the rooster from Looney Tunes, you would be dead right and probably lying. And lying is a sin, and you're about to go to hell. Good job. I don't know about you, but whenever I think of this guy in my head, I think he just has a tank build and like a cartoony amount of muscle. But get it? Because he's a cartoon. But in reality, he's got a bit of a dad bod. I mean, in his heyday, Foghorn probably had a Johnny Bravo type build and was a bit of a tank. But nowadays, he has that gas station clerk build. Like, I mean, you'd probably see him working at a Buc-ee's. He does appear to have some muscle though, but he essentially has 0 definition. So that's gonna put him in with Popeye in the C tier. Next off, we have Homer Simpson. This one's pretty easy, like Peter Griffin. Hello? Can you not call my number? Because I don't have Allstate. This was pretty easy, like Peter Griffin. He has not much muscle because he doesn't lift, and he has no definition because he won't stop eating the fucking pink sprinkled donuts. Like, dude needs to hop on a serious cut. If Homer ever wanted to compete in a bodybuilding show, he would need to do some serious work. Put him in D tier. Stan Smith. Now I have a take that some of you might disagree with, but I don't really give a. American Dad is a better show than Family Guy. I said it, and it's not really that close. Family Guy's characters are basically like, ha ha ha, we're losers and we're fat and ugly. And this is funny, right? Like Meg and Chris are the most boring, uninspired characters of any show ever. They are absolutely terrible. But American Dad characters have so much more dimension to him. Like Steve is a loser like Chris, but at least he does cool shit like Dungeons and Dragons and he's kind of smart. Chris just has fucking nothing and he just huffs red spray paint. American Dad doesn't do the dumb cutaway gag, which is just stupid in Family Guy. But back to Stan's physique. Stan's is actually really not bad. He's a bit chubby and he's a bit got like that dad bod build, but you know, it's not terrible. He's got really wide shoulders, which is working for him, and his arms are pretty big too. Stan, I'll have to give him a solid B tier. Bob R, also known as Mr. Incredible. Now, Bobby here got screwed genetically because his legs are really short and makes him look really small, but they're really not that small. I mean, really a lot of cartoons I've noticed really like to have the characters have just these super short legs for some reason. I don't really know why, but Mr. Incredible's legs are actually not that small. If you shrunk his upper body to the size of his lower body, he'd have actually a super balanced physique. Overall though, Mr. Incredible has a load of muscle and not the worst separation of all time, but he is carrying a lot of fat. But you know, who's not? Enough yapping. I'll probably give him a solid A. If he hopped on a cut, he would definitely be a competitive bodybuilder. Cyborg. Now for Cyborg, we're gonna have to rank him on like physique only and no muscle because he's a actual robot, and we're also talking about the Teen Titans Go one and not the other ones. So pretty much the only human flesh that I can see is in his face. So I don't really know what the IFBB has to say about robotic parts in competitors. You could say that I should research this for a better video, but to that I would say f off. I don't want to do that much work for this stupid of a video. His physique overall though in Teen Titans Go is actually not terrible. He kind of has a Baki type build with massive calves and massive forearms and massive shoulders, and the rest of him being also pretty big. Overall, physique wise, it's not bad. It's pretty athletic and has a good shape, so I'll give him a solid B. Next off, we have the Red Turtle from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, also better known as Raphael. Physique wise, Raphael actually has a very, very solid athletic build. He has good separation depending on the depiction between different art styles, but the live action, he looks like a total house. He has a very solid amount of muscle. The issue really here for me is he's 100% not natty because he drank that radioactive goo or whatever. And I mean, if that doesn't sound like gear, I don't know what does. Really though, the physique is solid and there really isn't a whole lot to knock aside from that total shell blocking the rest of him. So overall, I'll have to give him a solid A. Next off, we have Ice King. He's built like a pyramid with his shirt on. So, I mean, and there are some pics of him shirtless where he basically has a skinny shrimp, weird like twink build. D tier. Yeah, baby, Duke Nukem. Here we go. This guy has a pretty insane physique and basically looks like he could hop on a classic physique Mr. Olympia stage at any time. His shoulders are absolute boulders and definitely the highlight of his physique. He just has that ideal classic physique build where he has massive shoulders, probably a decently small waist. You can't really tell because he never has his shirt off. I mean, he should just take his shirt off so he could judge his physique, right? Like, just to judge the physique though, nothing else. I mean, I won't be taking any pictures or anything. The best thing I know Duke Nukem for is that Cold Ones video where they had him do the voiceover. Roll the clip.
The name's D's. D's nuts. Goat ham. I'm about to milk a goat and make some goat cheese. Goat cheese is very high in protein and helps with bone growth. I just felt one of my bones grow.
I love his physique though. It's pretty flawless. I'll give him the S tier to give the Hulk some company. Hercules. Now for clarification's sake, we're going to be talking about the big, buff, handsome Hercules after training with Danny DeVito, not the little twink femboy Hercules that we saw at the beginning of the movie. Hercules has a ton of muscle and his physique is damn near perfect. It's really similar to that of Mr. Incredible, except with, you know, a little bit less fat. His definition is only okay. He would need a decent bit of a cut in order to hop on a bodybuilding stage, but overall his physique is very nice. He's got a very small waist, good shape, and I really am a fan of it. So I'll stick him in the A tier. Optimus Prime is next. He runs into the same issue as Cyborg did in that he's basically a robot or an alien. I don't really know. I've never seen the movies. He has no muscle and a pretty shitty shape from a bodybuilding standpoint. So C tier. Next is Superman, and not just any Superman though. I'm talking about this cartoon Superman. If I had to guess, he'd probably be around 6'1", 280 with how big his upper body is, but the suit could be padded and he could be compensating for something. I don't really know. Overall though, he's pretty massive. His legs are a little underdeveloped in comparison to the rest of him, and his definition is lacking, but I'll probably stick him in A tier. After looking at the A tier a little bit, I feel like Raphael is sticking out like a sore thumb here, so I'm just gonna bump him down to B. SpongeBob Boxer Edition. He, like Johnny Bravo, has that Kaido from One Piece build where his legs are super small, which is super lame. He has a ton of muscle, or lack thereof, because he's an actual sponge, but the shape of his sponge is very solid. He has pretty decent definition as well, although it's not amazing. I'll probably give SpongeBob a solid B tier. Bobby fucking Hill. I mean, first Kurt's Cowardly Dog, then Ice King, and now Bobby Hill. I mean, why the fuck would I rank characters with this garbage of physique? We have people like the Hulk, Duke Nukem, Johnny Bravo, Hercules, I mean, Superman. And now we got Bobby Hill? Video's over. I'm done. I don't even know why I'm here. That's it.